Hello, welcome to my channel today. It is my pleasure to see you once again. As always, I am John Bosco, but call me JB if that is okay, as my friends do. Today, I will be discussing with you one of the most important and I would say prevailing debate whether Agile Project Manager is the same thing as a Scrum Master or different. A lot of people has been asking me privately either via email or chat, asking, "Hey JB, I've seen a lot of job posting where the title is about Agile Project Manager, but the job description highlights information about Scrum Master and Scrum Master responsibility. Is it the same or is it different?" Right. So today I will be highlighting some of the key information you should know or what could help you to decipher whether it is the same or whether it is different. So today's conversation is going to be very, very practical because this is something that happens. I mean, is reality is out there. If you are practicing Scrum Master, sometimes you might be given some project manager responsibilities, and sometimes you might be identified as an Agile project manager. And then if you are a potential Scrum Master, sometimes you are in the job market, you see some information or job posting saying, "Hey, we are looking for Agile project manager." What does that mean? So that's what we're going to try to address today. As always, if this is the first time you're visiting me, I would encourage you to please click the subscribe button there so that you will always get new information or updates anytime I release new content. Um, Again, don't forget to click the like button there, and please don't forget to share this content on your social media platform. And you could also refer me to your friend, colleague who are interested to enroll in Scrum, and I'll be more than happy to teach them or get them trained when it comes to Scrum and Agile. All right, that's about that. With that said, let's get into the business of today. All right. This today's content might be very short because of how I structure that. I wanted to make sure that I give you the meat of today's conversation. So what that means is I wanted to get direct to you what you should expect or what you could get from today's conversation. But first, I thought it was necessary to highlight or define key information. What does that mean? What is it about Agile Project Manager or Project Management? And what is Scrum or Scrum Master? I think by setting this stage, that would help us to, you know, reaffirm what or in what direction we are going to. Atlassian.com defines Agile Project Management as quotes an iterative approach to managing software development projects that focuses on continuous releases and incorporating customer feedback with every iteration. End quote. What does that mean? What this highlights is the idea that Agile Project Management is quite different from the conventional traditional project management. The idea of iterative gives us that idea of agility, right? Because it is only in Agile that we have this iterative nature of working on a project piece by piece rather than on the big bang, right? The conventional project management is all about working on that big bang. By big bang, I mean working on the whole project entirely. But Agile says about iterative, cyclic, right? And then the idea of customer feedback loop is such a huge thing that identifies or differentiates agility from waterfall. We're going to get into deeper later, but I just wanted to highlight key thing there based on the definition. Scrum or Scrum Master. Let's start with Scrum. Scrum is an empirical process, quote, a way to get work done as a team in small pieces at a time with continuous experimentation and feedback loops along the way to learn and improve as you go. End quote. That is from scrum.org. Now, let's highlight key information there. The idea of empiricism. Empiricism is such a huge thing when it comes to agile. What does empiricism mean? It's a philosophical word. The idea of things that we could observe, right? Things we could see, things that we could feel, empirical, things that we could really, really experiment, or we could feel or see, observational. Now, when he says small piece at a time, could you agree with me that goes again to that idea of the iterative nature? Instead of working on the big bang stuff, we take things piece by piece. Feedback loop. If you also remember when we kind of talked about agile project management according to Atlassian, we talked about customer feedback. In Scrum, feedback is what distinguishes, one of the things that distinguishes Scrum from traditional project management. However, what does it mean to be a Scrum Master? A Scrum Master, according to, if you have to go to, if I am really interpreting the Scrum guide, it says someone who has an expert knowledge on Scrum and helps others to learn. Right? So, in other words, a Scrum Master is someone who helps teams or organization to work or keep experimenting or work on the project piece by piece to continuously deliver value. Could you see the close correlation between Agile Project Management and a Scrum Master? Not sure yet? Don't worry. The next slide, I will be sharing with you how, in my opinion, as I do understand it, Agile Project Manager or Agile Project Management, by subject line, it might not be the same in terms of what or Scrum Master is, but in terms of responsibility, it is the same. Now, what are the key takeaways? This summarizes what I would say the highlights or the insight should be taken away today for people who might not be sure or are still confused if Agile Project Manager is the same as a Scrum Master. It's my own opinion. If you ask me, I would say technically it is the same, because the way that the project manager the way that the Agile Project Manager performs is basically the same. In an Agile environment, right, in Scrum perhaps, or if I have to be very, very much specific, in Scrum, we don't have a project manager role. The project manager role in Scrum, I would say the responsibilities are all distributed among the each individual person of the Scrum team. We have the product owner, we have the Scrum Master, and we have the developers. Each person on the Scrum team has a role to play as when we have a traditional project manager. Now, Agile Project Manager or management isn't same as traditional project manager. We have to get that straight. A conventional traditional project manager role is different. How does it differ? For example, the idea of hierarchy is there. In a traditional project manager environment, the idea of dictatorship or management, if I have to use that word, is very much obvious, right? But as you could agree with me that in an agile environment, there is nothing like management. Management is very much silent. It's so silent right there. So a Scrum Master, most of the times, performs the duties and responsibilities of that project manager. There are some duties that are performed by the product owner. For example, we understand that the traditional project manager takes care of the budget. In Scrum, the product owner helps to a reasonable extent to take care of the budgeting, because if the developers are going to be spending a huge amount, let's say XYZ amount of time, which accrues to the hourly rates, that helps the people to know what is the team capacity or velocity, and how can that be used to measure the budget for that projects, right? So Agile Project Management focuses on quotes, team collaboration, customer feedback, and piece by piece instead of working on the big bang stuff. Again, this goes again if we have to tie it to that idea of a Scrum Master or Scrum. Let's not just limit it to the Scrum Master, but Scrum. Team collaboration is a huge thing. When we win as a team. When we fail as a team. So, the idea of individualism is not encouraged in Scrum, right? So, can you see how close connected, how they are tied together by functions, but not by title or subject line? Now, the Agile project management frameworks are into two. We have basically two frameworks that could be used to execute agile projects or agile project management work. One is Scrum, the other is Kanban. Remember, there are different agile frameworks. We have Kanban, we have Scrum, we have Lean, we have Extreme Programming, we have Feature Driven Development, FTD. All of these are different agile frameworks. But when it comes to agile project management, two frameworks are very much paramount. We have Scrum and we have Kanban. We already know what Scrum is. Kanban looks at the team's capacity, availability in order to know the amount of work that could be keyed in or that could be distributed. The idea of work in progress or WIP helps to make sure that the team is not overloading themselves using the Kanban board. Again, in Agile Project Management, we have different metrics to measure success. For example, if you're using the Jira, we have different softwares or tools like the burn down chart, the burn up charts, right? Which a Scrum Master uses to capture how much progress the team makes each sprint. In an Agile Project Management environment, we perform different ceremonies, which is different from the traditional Agile Project Management, right? So in a traditional project management, we don't basically have the ceremonies like daily stand-up, sprint planning, sprint execution, which is the actual sprint. We have the sprint review and we have the sprint retrospective, which makes it different from the traditional project management. And I kind of put on the slide here that some kind of external resource that you could consult, right? There are tons and tons of different or lots of materials there that tries to give us that idea that Agile project management is different from traditional project management or waterfall project manager. All of these, in terms of, this is just to re-emphasize what I already said, that in terms of subject line, they are not the same, but in terms of the duties and responsibilities, Agile project manager role is basically the same thing as a Scrum Master role, because as a Scrum Master or as an Agile project manager, you are facilitating, you are a facilitator, you are a change agent, you are a coach, you are a leader, you are a mentor. And what are the different hats a Scrum Master puts on? A Scrum Master puts on different hats. A Scrum Master is a facilitator. A Scrum Master is an impediment remover. A Scrum Master is a change agent. A Scrum Master is a mentor. A Scrum Master is a coach, right? All of these gives us that sense that Agile Project Manager responsibility or role is basically the same as a Scrum Master role. What I would encourage you to do when you see a job posting about Agile Project Manager, take some time to take a look at the job description. You will see or realize that the job description is very much close or adherent to a Scrum Master role, right? That provides us with the idea that a Scrum Master could be called an Agile Project Manager. All right, that's where we're going to stop for today. I hope you find this very fulfilling, but if you have some question for me, as always, you can either put that in the comment section right there below, or you could also email me. As you could see on the screen, my email address is there, or you can connect with me on Instagram. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Let's build this community where we can share information about Agile and Scrum, and together we'll continue to deliver value. Thank you so much for visiting me today. It is my pleasure. I am so excited to have you, and I'm looking forward to see you again. In the meantime, bye for now.